What's up, guys and gals? Happy Tuesday, July 5th. We've got a 12-game MLB slate for the main DraftKings Fanduel. A couple more games throughout the day. It is Taco Tuesday over on PrizePicks. So right now we have about an hour left on a Logan Gilbert strikeout prop. 3.5. That seems pretty good and attainable. But I haven't looked at the Padres lineup. I imagine there's a bunch of lefties. Let me see. Oh, that's one of the early games, huh? Let's pull that up. Anyway, 3.5 really low for Logan Gilbert. Was initially going to be 5. So cool. We might get another taco in the coming hours. I need to pop open their Discord to see what's up. So, but yeah, happy Tuesday. I hope you guys had a good holiday weekend and had a safe holiday weekend. Yesterday can get a little crazy, right? Yesterday can get crazy, and so can baseball. Baseball's been pretty wild lately. Today's a weird slate. 24 teams on the slate, and the ace of the slate is Nick Pivetta. Oh my! Jameson Taillon on the bump as well. Jeffrey Springs, Luis Garcia, cool. This pitching is very tricky. So whenever pitching's tricky, you don't have the warm and fuzzies on a couple guys. That means, oh snap, there's a lot of offenses that can come out and be in play. So we're gonna do our due diligence here, trying to grind through it game by game, try to come out with some strong leans here, and then hopefully a small list of player props. So if you guys have already got a head start on research, man, definitely share your notes with the class as we go game by game. And then of course, before I like to look at the slate, I do check out Mr. Kevin Ross weather report over on Roto Grinders. I'll put a link to that in chat. What up, Sergio? What up, Chester? What up, Steve? Looks like Mets at Cincy, yellow-orange, increasing chances for storms late, but a storm is possible at any time, and they are nearly stationary. So one storm in the wrong spot could be big trouble, despite all the... All right, so the storms won't move. Yankees at the Pirates, 1 or 2 storms popping up, increasing chance for delay the later we go. The coverage is low, so we'll just leave it at a, quote, chance for delay. All right, cool. Nats at Philly, green-yellow, looks similar. Texas at Baltimore, green yellow. So I'm gonna put a whole bunch of alert on that. Rays at the Red Sox, going to be wet, but I think we see off and on light showers that they can play through during the game, with heavier rain arriving after the game. There's always a chance they decide they don't want to play at all in crappy weather, just postpone it, blah 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 blah. All right, cool. So we'll watch that. Definitely, I think that's the first game of that series, so they could just run a doubleheader tomorrow or something like that. Cardinals at the Braves, and plus it's a division game, so they always have time to make that stuff up. Classic pop-ups, chance for delay, blah 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 in the Atlanta game, and then orange on the Twins and White Sox. Late start looks very likely. I think they end up with a late start and play. But all right, so this is a pretty big slate for weather. We've been kind of lucky last couple weeks. It feels like I haven't had to play weatherman too much, so we're definitely gonna have to pay attention to the weather today. Make sure you have that page tab bounce back and forth throughout the day, and we'll come back and so let's start throwing some games into the spreadsheet here. All right, yeah, cool. So let's get it cranked up. Nats and the Phillies. Let me make sure I don't mute. I always mute my mic on accident. Also, chat, if the music is too loud, let me know. We'll make sure we nip that in the bud. How was your guys' weekend? Haven't talked to you guys since what, Friday? Did you guys... So in my local area, we couldn't do... and not that I would do it anyway. I don't mess with the fireworks, but in Waco, it was actually illegal to buy, sell, possess fireworks because of how dry it is. We got a little drought going on, and the risk of like brush fires and stuff like that, it's even higher. Matter of fact, we've had some brush fires come really close to home, so we didn't really have to deal with a lot of it. But me personally, I don't like fireworks anyway. Not for any specific reason other than they seem like a waste of money. They seem like they're risky. They seem like they make all animals anxious. I could just look at a laser show and get the same result. So, not that I missed out on much, but I remember liking it as a kid. So, I'm not going to be the grumpy old man, but I'm not losing sleep if we don't have it. Phillies hosting the Nats. Paolo Espino taking on Christopher Sanchez. Sanchez is a new name for me. I haven't done a lot of digging on him. It looks like we've got about 27, 28 innings of sample size the last 2 seasons on him at the big league level. His actual ERA has usurped his expected ERA, so he's got some unluckiness going on, but not a big enough sample size at any stretch to really believe in anything specifically. Does have a good K rate against lefties, but he is a lefty, so that makes sense. And so far this season against righties, and going back to last year against righties, a double-digit percentage walk rate. So let's first of all see if he's even like going to be a starter here. Sanchez. 1 inning, so he's probably just an opener. So we don't need to go too knee deep into researching him, right? Sanchez supposed to, maybe we'll be. All right, so let's go pull up the MILB and see if we expect length out of him. What's his last appearance? June 11th. So it's been about a month since he's been in a major league game. Sanchez. All right, why would I ever think typing just Sanchez would be a good idea? Oh, he doesn't have an H in his name. That's what it is. There we go. Oh, it's Tampa Bay, Boston, day 2. Dang. What up, Mighty Saint? I guess I missed a couple of the anything that wasn't on like the 540 and beyond yesterday. So he pitched 3 innings, 4 innings, 2 innings. So it doesn't look like he's gonna be a 5+ inning guy, no matter which way we slice it. In his last couple of outings in the minors, he's had more strikeouts than innings pitched. However, that's not a thing with a lot of continuity. Massive ground ball rates in the minors, 6.67. I guess that's 1 inning. 7.5 ground out to air out ratio in 4 innings. So it could be a ground ball guy with some command issues, but I don't think that there's going to be 5+ innings more often than not, and this is not a big strikeout lineup. Matter of fact, I think the Nats are in contention for having the lowest team strikeout percentage against lefties. So I think Sanchez is going to be avoidable here, and then dipping into that bullpen, maybe you get just a bunch of average arms through and through. So if you wanted to get some Nats, cool. I think generally speaking, the Nats are never a team that we get 5 deep in. We get Juan Soto, some Josh Bell, some Nelly Cruz, Lane Thomas, sure, if he's in the top. But for the most part, I think it's a pretty paint by numbers team to get to, with the focus being on Mr. Soto. The Phillies lineup is confirmed. Espino, a lot more sample size on him not being great. His actual ERA, kind of the inverse of Sanchez, is luckier than his expected ERA, a 4+ expected ERA, a 1.13 whip, an 18% K rate, and an 8% swing and strike rate. Barrel rates at 8%, still high, but still a little bit lower than it was last year, so he might even have some room to go forward. He has kept the ball in the park against lefties, but this is kind of a unique result because He has a 36% hard contact rate to lefties this season, 40% last year, and it's not like he's an exuberant ground ball guy. He's just a 40% ground ball rate since the beginning of last year against lefties, with the 20% aggregate line drive rate and the fly ball rate this year has been over 40%. So the sub 1 homer per nine doesn't really make a ton of sense here. But yeah, whatever. He's been getting it done. With that said, though, if you're gonna dare Kyle Schwarber, put the ball in play. I'm gonna play Kyle Schwarber, and then Derek Hall. Check out him. 2,700 on DK, 29 on Fanduel. He's batting cleanup. I'm gonna do a little bit more digging into his minor league numbers, but man, I was looking up the other day, and he kept hitting with some power. God dang it! This ain't NBA where I could just type a last name and expect something to pop up. You know. What up, Sean? In the minors this year, a 894 OPS, and then if we split that up, let's look at, I guess, against righties. There it is. He's got over a 1 OPS against righties with a 311 average. 39 Ks in 183 at bats, so that's very respectable. 17 homers in those 183 at bats. So the power is real, which is going to go ahead and make the Phillies a stack for us, and the Nats bullpen pretty below average in just about everything, especially home run per 9 plus. So yeah, Philly stack is certainly in play. Let's go pull up the player pool, and we will introduce the Phillies as one of our first stacks. Clearly, Schwarber, Hoskins, Castellanos, Hall, Realmuto are the priority plays, but I wouldn't I wouldn't turn away Bohm and Stott if they were trying to get sprinkled in some of the optos, right? So give me some Phillies bats here. Give me a couple Nats. I'm not that enthralled with either pitcher, and we're gonna keep it moving. I think this is gonna be a pretty concentrated pitching slate. Too concentrated for my blood. It might turn into more action on a Fanduel type of night. Typically, when there's only one good pitcher or a couple of good pitchers, I should say, I'm more into Fanduel. That way, I don't have to feel as invested in multiple guys, if that makes sense, instead of having to put 2 guys on a lineup. If I only have like 4 or 5 pitchers in the pool, then Fanduel, I feel like I can still have a little bit more diversification than if I only like 4 or 5 on DK, if any of this makes sense. Next game on the docket, Rangers at the O's. I don't know why I said that like that. By the way, if you guys are trying to get into that Logan Gilbert taco, I believe it's going to be about less than an hour now. So you do have to throw those tickets in sooner than later. And I didn't really look at PrizePicks for that last game. Maybe I should. I feel like it's going to be a day of offense for PrizePicks leans. Arauz. Fudge. What am I doing? Jorge Mateo, the walk-off hit-by pitch. Good God. What a day for pitching. We've got Austin Voth taking on Spencer Howard. Whew. Rangers implied run total 4.8. The O's 4.9. Spencer Howard so far this season a 10.67 expected ERA, obviously just based on 6.2 innings. We lean on his numbers more so from last year, 4.63, still not good, a 1.6 whip. So far, we'll stay away from this year's metrics too much. Last year, 312 average allowed to righties, a 5.16 xFIP, and then last year against lefties, 4.78 xFIP, over a 1 home run per 9 to both sides of the plate, and more alarmingly, an 11.5% aggregate walk rate to both sides of the plate. So he's somebody that can lose the zone. So if the Orioles can be patient, and here's a team that doesn't hit for great average but has some speed, especially in the bottom of this lineup, guys like Jorge Mateo, they'll run at will. Definitely a not bad spot for them. Let's see, Spencer Howard. We'll double check his, see if he had some rehab starts, but April. So this is his first major league start since April. So I would definitely imagine He's got some AAA starts under his belt. Going to switch the process today and make a spreadsheet. Let's welcome welcome to the dark side, Josh. Hey, spreadsheets are definitely a powerful tool. Even if you don't have like, I don't know, even if you don't have like stat feeds and stuff like that, it's just such a tidy way to keep track of everything. In the month of June, 32 innings in the minors for Mr. Howard, 39 strikeouts, 12 walks in those 32 innings, yikes, and just 2 homers allowed in 32 innings, so that's actually on the good side, but still a big fly ball pitcher, about a 0.5 ground out to air out ratio, and the whip is through the roof, $1.25 plus just about every game, 0.94 on the total, but I think that's, I don't even know what that's based off, because that doesn't even make sense. Or no, yeah. And then just under a hit per inning, but yeah, the strikeouts were above a strikeout per inning, but you kind of see that sometimes from these major league quality pitchers, that it's more of a quad A, right, in between AAA and the majors. So I don't know, I'm kind of digging this game for offense, but I was hoping to maybe have some hope in finding one of these 5-6K guys today that I can get behind. I guess you can make the case that Howard has a 10+% swing and strike rate since the beginning of last year. Maybe there's a range of outcomes. He can still, a strikeout per inning here and not get demolished. But man, it's hard to like. It's hard to like either pitcher with a high level of confidence. So we're going to lean more so into the offenses for now. Austin Voth on the bump here for the Orioles against lefties so far this season. Been pretty solid, but a 347 average allowed. But that's kind of going against his 3.1 xFIP and his just 22.8% hard contact rate, and a low hard contact against lefties has been something he sustained the last 2 years. However, last year he parlayed it with a extremely high walk rate and almost a 2 home run per night. So lefties can still hit for that power in Camden. It's more so those pull righties, and that may just impact Marcus Semien, Adolis Garcia, and I don't know if Mitch Garver is going to be in the lineup today. So neither pitcher excite me. Both offense our teams we're going to have to get to, but obviously we don't feel warm and fuzzy with Orioles. And well, I don't know, I guess I shouldn't say that, because I do like the Rangers more than most, even though 3 of their guys in this DraftKings pricing is over 5K. And then the Orioles are definitely evolving before our eyes into a very respectable team that against average to the below average pitching can get it done. So more offense than pitching here. Man, I don't have any punt pitchers yet, and this might get weird. Total has gone over 11 of last 13 meetings between Nats and Phillies. I don't care about stats like those. What up, KJ? What up, everyone hates Chris? What up, AJ? I'm gonna throw Howard and pray. The pitching sucks today. I want offense. I think that's fine, AJ. If I'm going to punt a bum pitcher, I definitely am just gonna take a guy with strikeout and swing and strike stuff. And I think Spencer Howard at least gives you that hope, right? A double-digit swing and strike rate, and then 22+% K rate. So I don't think it's crazy to throw him in the blender and hope for a positive range of outcomes with strikeouts involved. So I don't think that's crazy. Which I'll take a shot with Marquez tonight against the Dodgers. Woo. Man, Marquez is kind of declined too. I used to love that dude on the road, but that's kind of a double-edged sword, man. The Dodgers with Mookie back in the mix, man, that's tough. Yankees at the Pirates next game we're going to throw in here. It's a little revenge game, man. A lot of old Pirates on the other side here. Tyon included. Garrett Cole, Clay Holmes. And then the Yankees just sold. Who'd they sell? Manny Benuelos, I think it was, to the Pirates. Pirates are like the pawn shop of, or more like a garage sale. Pawn shops kind of juice up the price, right? Neither lineup confirmed, but we got Tyone on the bump. The Yankees have 5.4 implied run total. 10K for Tyone, just generally speaking, is like ew. But I think in the context of this slate, is Tyone one of the top 4 pitchers? Yeah. Should he be 10K? Probably not. But can he give me 20 plus? Yeah. It is a new look Pirates offense that I'm respecting more and more as the days go by. The right version of this lineup is fun, right? The O'Neal Cruz version with Vogie, Brian Reynolds in the mix, Brian Hayes. So far this season, Tyone against lefties, a 22% K rate, a 26% hard contact rate, is allowing the batted balls to lefties to elevate way more than I want them to. And this is going back to the beginning of last year, 26% line drive rate and a 38+% fly ball rate, and that even goes up if you expect regression to last year. However, for the most part, keeping the ball in the yard, and then he's striking out righties less than lefties. So if we're playing Tyone, we're not necessarily playing him for 8 strikeouts, anything like that. We're playing him to get through 6 innings, maybe be a strikeout per inning. Yankees coming off an off day, should be fully rested. I think the bullpen might have been able to fully reset after that Cleveland series. So Tyone should have some reinforcements if they have to do a quick hook. But I think, unfortunately, Tyone has to be in the player pool at 10K. But this is, I don't know, I want to say a head spot, but I don't think it is, because the Yankees bullpen is pretty rested, right? Let's see, Yankees. Yeah, they only use JP Sears and Abreu on Sunday, so they full reset button. They got Chapman back. That doesn't mean great things, but Clay Holmes, Michael King, Licky, Marinaccio, I mean, all their high leverage arms are ready to go if it is a close game. So I hate to head stack here because I don't think it's a quality matchup, but I will cherry pick a couple of these guys in the player pool, some O'Neal Cruz, guys like that. And then the Yankee stack, Quintana on the bump, 19% K rate to righties. If you're going to allow Judge to make contact, Judge has had 2 days off in a row. Giancarlo Stanton to make contact, Josh Donaldson, guys like that to make contact. I definitely like their chances. And then against lefties, Quintana's been pretty effective really the last 3 years, a 30+% aggregate strikeout rate. And so far, the hard contact rate the last 2 seasons, about 20% on the aggregate. He does walk lefties too much. So I don't know. I guess long story short is I don't think I'm gonna pitch any Quintana today. AK pitching is so broken today, but I don't think it's any. It's not the fault of the site. It's just like, man, what a rough slate for pitching. What did we do? We put Tyone. I introduced Tyone to the pool as a tier 3, and then we're gonna throw the Yankees into the stack list. And then of course we've seen the Pirates bullpen completely implode on themselves. You know. Michael Perez hit more home runs last week than he did his whole career. It's been a fun month for a lot of fun stories like that. What up, EB? Is the weather still an issue for the Yankee game? Yes, but no. 1 or 2 storms popping up, increasing chance for a delay. Later we go. The coverage is low, so we'll just leave it at, quote, chance for delay, but not a great chance. So I posted a link earlier, but make sure you guys keep this tabbed. I do, bookmarked or whatever. So there is a chance, but not great. But we will throw a little bit of yellow on it, and it was all yellow. Yeah, that's it. All right, yeah. You think Kopech has upside against the Twins today? I think he always has upside, but he's obviously a very volatile floor guy, right? There's a couple of, and those are the guys that we're just gonna have to take chances on today. We know Kopech has the strikeout stuff in him, but kind of like Hunter Green, like he can kind of get flimsy at times. But we'll go in depth on that one a little bit more in just a few minutes. Let's move on to Fenway. Red Sox hosting the Rays. Jeffrey Springs coming into this slate as one of the top 3 price pitchers. And just talent-wise, he's got it, right? Versus the field. If you're putting all the pitchers on today's slate on a table and just trying to decide, hey, who's the best individual pitcher, matchup be darned. Yeah, I think he's in the mix. So weird slate, but I don't mind a slate like this, right? If you're gonna make pitching a little tough, I mean, this is our penance for always complaining about how loose pricing is, right? Well, okay, let's play the other way for a little bit. I don't mind it. Change the meta, as they say in the video game world. Bobby. Oh. Really, both pitchers here. All right, Rob Refsnyder. We spelled the name wrong. All right, there we go. All right, Red Sox lineup is confirmed. Still waiting on a confirmed Rays lineup. 4.9 implied run total for the Red Sox. 4.4 for the Rays. Jeffrey Springs, Nick Pivetta. Like I said, if you look at DraftKings, we're looking at price-wise SP1, SP3. Pivetta on the season, a 4.23 expected ERA. Outperforming that with a 3.23 actual ERA. He has a 23.6% K rate. The Rays lineup kind of uninspiring. Only G-Man Choi and Isaac Paredes have a 200 plus ISO. They did bring back Wander Franco. He's shown a little bit of pop over the last couple of days, but I think he's got more power against lefties and righties. And then this lineup balances out a little bit more in the top half for strikeouts and just kind of plummets in the bottom half. Guys like Kevin Kiermaier, Rosarena, Taylor Walls, Rene Pinto. We'll see if they end up using Brett Phillips again, something like that. It's not confirmed. But it's kind of like half and half. But the entire team outside of G-Man Choi all have, like an aggregate 5% barrel rate. And then the WRC plus is kind of hit or miss. So you kind of have to talk yourself into playing Nick Pivetta at this price. But I wouldn't, obviously I wouldn't fault you. If it comes half and half, lefties, righties, yeah, I think you could get some shares of him. But it's 10.3K. You gotta walk away with 20 plus, I assume, from any of these top end pitchers. 14, 18, 33, 23, 19. Has not seen the Rays yet this season. And then at home in Fenway, he does have a 409 xFIP, a 23.7% K rate, and then a sub 0.9 home run per nine. So that's pretty good out there in Fenway. So I don't like by default we got to get into some of both pitchers. I think I'm gonna get a little bit less Nick Pivetta than Springs, as odd as that sounds, but it's mainly because I just want to bet on Springs as the better talent, right? Matchups are matchups for sure, but just looking at the underlying metrics, the advanced metrics here, a 27.8% K rate for Springs, 14% swing and strike rate. Both of that eclipse that of Pivetta's. The expected ERA is good. The one whip is really good. So even though it's a tough matchup, I just think his ceiling is higher because of who he is. So I'm going to have a little bit more Springs than Pivetta, even though he's 9,700. And then, do we have any worries about his pitch count? 102 last outing against the Pirates. So, no, we don't. Let's get that involved. And I do think both pitchers are going to, unlike Tyon, I will hedge both of these spots, right? Although the Rays, I don't think I can't 5-man stack the Rays. I think they would be a sub stack based on Isaac Paredes, G-Man Choi, Wander Franco, guys like that. I really don't want to get to any of the bottom of the order guys unless this lineup comes out way different than anticipated. There's just not, I don't know. I don't feel the 5-man spot. It says Mitch White was scratched for the Dodgers. Oof. What's up, Brian? Hope you're doing all right. No Devers. You see my Riley parlay hit on Sunday? I did not. What was it? Right, I haven't streamed since Friday. I guess I streamed Saturday, but on the Stochastic channel. But I didn't see any like parlay talks, But congrats, first of all. But what was it? Was it 4-legger, 5-legger. Let me get the Tigers game punched in. I really, really wish my state had sports betting. Those same game parlays for football, that seems fun. For basketball, love it. And I'm like the hungry guy outside the window in the snow, looking in at the happy family of gamblers, sharing same game parlay. You know what I mean? I'm just over here, guys. Look, I finished 5th in the shot. I almost 2x my money. Like, yeah, shut up. We just got 2 receptions from Cooper Kupp. The Tigers lineup is confirmed. Dude, we're gonna have to like vomit play Cal Quantrill here. Is this about to happen? Please tell me no. Please tell me no. 5.1 implied run total for the Guardians, 4.1 on the Tigers. So Quantrill, 4.68 expected ERA, $1.25 on the whip, 14% K percentage. Not what you want, but man, oh man, do the Tigers not have any power, and a 70 WRC plus against righties. At 8,300? Come on, DraftKings, why you do this to me? I'll never forget Quantrill's game against the Twins a couple games back. Not this one. Was it that one? No, it wasn't Quantrill then that I'm thinking of. So some contact pitcher went up against the Twins. I felt like it was from the Guardians, and he did like 5 strikeouts in 3 innings. 8 innings for Quantrill against the Twins. 5.56 a couple games prior. Double-digit fantasy points in all but one of his last 5 or 6 games. At 8,300, man, like I said, value's going to be a lot more subjective tonight. Can we get into the double digits? I think Quantrill has that shot against the Tigers. Unfortunately, not a lot of redeeming qualities, and not a guy that can erase a lot of earned runs with strikeouts. But to his credit, like we said, 2 homers, 1 homer. He's allowed homers in 5 games straight, and all those games walked away with positives, and then all but 1 walked away with double-digit fantasy points, with the Dodgers being the one blemish here. So I just think range of outcomes in play. Unfortunately, I think the Tigers are weak enough that I probably get to some Quantrill, and I don't like it. I don't. 28% hard contact rate to righties, 36 to lefties. The ground ball rate's lower than I want it to be, but it is what it is. Can we eat some innings here? What is Quantrill implied for out-wise? 15, 18. So he's implied for 6 innings. Yeah, I don't like it. I'm not gonna type his name just yet, but if I'm backed in the corner later and I just need to open up 6%, 7%, or somebody else just to diversify, I might open up some Quantrill. And if you wanted to stack against these numbers, I wouldn't talk you off of it. For whatever reason, just not allowing a ton of homers. Drew Hutchison on the bump for the Tigers, a 1.52 whip, a 5.53 expected ERA. Both of that, not what you want. He is keeping the ball inside the park in the last 45 innings of sample size for the most part. Double-digit percentage walk rate. But I don't know that I'm going to believe in the 0.61 home run per 9 to righties, right? He has a 38.5% hard contact rate. Fly ball rate's 36%. Line drive rate, yeah, 46% ground ball rate, but that's still metrics that are bad enough that I could see him jumping that home run per 9. So who would we do that with? Well, Josh Naylor, Jose Ramirez, the 2 main guys I get to, and maybe some Fanduel. That lane is the only 3 in this lineup, in this projected lineup, with a 200 plus ISO. And if you wanted to reach out and touch Andres Gimenez, you could justify it with his 180 ISO since the beginning of last year, but it'd really just be Ramirez, Naylor, and Reyes, and then Ramirez and Naylor as the bulk here. So I don't think I get to Hutchison here. This slate sucks. So annoying. How do you feel about Padres and Mariners no-run first inning? So what is that? Logan Gilbert versus... That's not on the main slate, right? So you're just asking me... Let me see. Chat, help me out. Who is... Oh, it's Mike Clevenger. Ooh, and that involves Julio Rodriguez, Crawford, Suarez. I wouldn't want to sweat that. That's just me, though. Julio and Machado in the first inning. I personally, I don't like to sweat stuff like that, so I don't want to co-sign that. Those are two really, really talented baseball players. What up, Eric? Austin Riley Green. Yo, RC, that is awesome. I love that. Oh, man. What up, Smoothie? What up, Jim? Shout out to you. What up, Nitram? Quantrill had 10K outlier versus the Tigers last year. Tigers are bad. Kind of like Hutchinson because Cleveland has been terrible. High risk, though. Man. Yeah, today is one of those weird slates where I'm not. You guys go with your gut. It's hard to justify a 15% K rate against a lineup full of 13% K rates. I think they have one of the lowest strikeout rates in all of baseball. So I just don't know what the redeeming qualities are, but I do think at 6K, even at 8K today, 10 plus fantasy points, that dog just might hunt. So yeah, you guys, whatever, if you're that feeling in your bad knees pushing you that way, go for it. What up, Ryanin? Ahmed Rosario? Yeah, I guess if you wanted to get a guy that could get on base in front of him, even Steven Kwan, like I discredit them just because they don't hit for power, but Kwan is a decent OBP guy, and we've seen some stolen base potential out of him. So if either one of these guys get on in front of a J-Ram Naylor, like it is positively correlated for the run and RBI. So I guess that would make enough sense, but I tend to really prioritize some high ISO unless they are a big stolen base guy or an average plus stolen base guy against a really weak matchup like a Noah Syndergaard, And then Riley Green, I think, is too cheap on the Tigers still. He's been leading off. It's kind of a good spot for him. 2,500 on DK, 3,100 on Fanduel. But I also don't know that salary is going to be too much of a problem today. But that's about it. All right, let's get the next game punched in. The Cardinals and the Braves. Let's see, Cardinals. Whoop. Chummy. Yeah, if you guys want to smack that like button, that'd be lit. I would appreciate it, y'all. I really I want to make it to 8K subscribers before football kicks off. Like I don't know, the channel's projected to clear 10K. I don't know if by January 1, but it's going to get there within, I would probably say 7 months. But the baseball season is the hardest time to grow this channel. It's football and basketball, really basketball that skyrocketed. But I'm only a couple hundred away from 8K, so that's kind of like my goal, right? We all have short-term goals. That's kind of the goal I put forth for the channel. Try to hit the 8K before football. And last I checked, we were at 7,777. So it's a lucky number. Mr. Anderson on the bump for the Braves. Cardinals 4.4 implied run total. Braves of 5.3. Anderson 409 expected ERA 1.52 WHIP. Want to say his last couple games feel like they've been better. But this is a Cardinals team that I'm scared of. He got smacked by the Phillies. All right. He had that 27 fantasy point game against Chicago. Chicago obviously really, really bad. Dodgers and Phillies really, really good. Cardinals also really, really good. So we can't really get too enthralled with Anderson at 8,500. But if we just start betting on guys that might come through in positive splits here, I guess there really is no positive split for him. His strikeout rate is kind of plummeted against righties. So this is not a spot where I want to hold my breath and roster Ian Anderson. And the Cardinals have been so good, and really any park that's not Busch Stadium is a plus park. But Truist Park is another positive split park in just about every category we're looking for the Cardinals here. So Goldie, Arenado, Gorman. I mean, this lane right here, Juan Yepez, all guys that make a lot of sense here. And then Ian Anderson is backed by an above-average bullpen. But this is a good enough team that I do want some exposure to. Really, anytime the Cardinals... I stack the Cardinals in Busch Stadium, but when they get into the Citizens Bank, the Truist Park, stuff like that, I want them even more. Andre Palante. Let's do some digging on him. I don't know what we're working with here. I don't think is this his first start? I don't think it is, because I feel like I've typed his name before. Oh yeah, for sure. Why am I not getting stats? Andre Palante. Does he have a weird like accent in his name? That's Palante. I should definitely be pulling some stats. Andre Palante. We got tons of innings. All right, 1 second, chat. Let me look through my data pool and see if there's a different name for Palante, maybe a different first name. Palante. Neil? Is he? Any Cardinals fans can help me out here? Does he go by Neil? I don't think they have two Palantes on the Cardinals, so I'm gonna trust that it's Neil. Let's see. Andre Palante Neil. Apparently Neil's his first name and Andre's his middle name. Cool. All right, well, he has a 1.31 whip, a 3.64 expected ERA. He has outperformed that with a 2.1 ERA, a 3.4% barrel rate. That's elite. 14% carry rate, not so much, but big time ground ball guy. 64% ground ball rate. Both sides of the plate. So by design, he is eating innings. So I guess if we had, if we were going to justify a guy like Cal Quantrill at 8,300, who's 17 ground balls, a guy that can ground ball his way into a good game. This guy has a way better ground ball rate. So kind of that same line of thinking. And at 6,400, I'm just looking for double digits, 12 plus fantasy points to get me there. SP2 spot does come with risk, but can steal a quality start just by being, look at this, 17 ground balls, 1 fly ball against Miami, 14-3, 10-4. I mean, this is pretty doggone good. So I think I do get to some Palante, but probably like less, like a single digit or so. Let's put him in the tier 3. Probably gonna have to promote a guy like Jeffrey Springs to tier 2, and even Tyone. Yeah, let me promote Tyone as well, and then we'll just, for aesthetic purposes, move Pivetta up. All right, cool. Both teams are probably in the stack list, but I think I'm gonna get to more Cardinals than Braves. And then this season, Anderson, a 1.7 home run per 9 to righties. His batted ball data hasn't changed a ton, but the biggest difference is a 7% drop, 8% drop in ground ball rate to righties, and then a spike in average allowed. So if we're looking at a guy who's having trouble keeping the ball in the park against righties, well, Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt, they drop in and they say, "You're." So, yeah, we're always stacking the Cardinals. So I'm going to put the Cardinals a little closer to the top. We will get to the Braves as well, but I think I would have more Cardinals than Braves. I think. How do you feel about Bogarts against Springs? I have 4,800 left for DK for shortstop. I think Xander Bogaerts is just talented. It's a tougher matchup, one of the toughest on the slate in terms of a strikeout pitcher. But Xander's a good hitter, can hit high strikeout guys, and it's a plus part. Let me see if Xander had a crazy bomb rating. I don't think he does, but we'll see. Xander has a 341 rating on the bomb detector. That's not great at all, but he does hit lefties with a 300 plus average. So, like, if you're backed in the corner and your option is Xander, I don't think you're like in a bad spot to be in, but I don't know. We'll see. Trevor Story seems like a lock and load play. That's a guy I am worried about, a good strikeout pitcher being on the other side, you know? He's Andre and Fangraph, says Neil, 4-1 ground. Yeah, he's nuts. Elvis Andrews for 2,200, DK sneaky play. All right. Look at this. Did I miss anything? I think they have his name as Andre on Fangraphs. Yeah, you know, I'm pulling from Fangraphs too. I don't know why he came back as Neil here. That's weird. But I'm glad we figured that out. No Ian Anderson for me. Probably. Possibly. Yeah, no. I don't know. I hate pitching today, y'all. This is a rough one. 19 minutes on this Logan Gilbert taco. If you guys want to take advantage of that. Remember, if you haven't signed up for PrizePicks yet, you've been meaning to get around to it. If you use this link or use code GUNDACKER, they will double your first deposit up to $100. Royals and Astros. All right, now we're talking pitchers, right? 8:10 p.m. Of course, this is one of those slates where the Nats and the Astros are on it, so I got to deal with the Luis Garcia nonsense. Pascantino. So I'm assuming, chat, and I don't know. I feel like Garcia is going to end up being one of the highest owned pitchers on the slate. Is that where you guys are falling? Vinny. It's Vinny. I remember that. Yep. Astros. By the way, that is a confirmed Royals lineup. Dude, I hope we have like all the aces tomorrow. I had this talk the other day in Discord. I don't know why. It feels, I guess we're just because we're missing out on DeGrom and Scherzer right now. But it just feels like our options have diminished when it came to just aces that are getting you 30, 40 fantasy points every time. You know what I mean? Like when Max hit the bump, when DeGrom hit the bump, when, I don't know, Tyler Glasnow. We're missing a lot of aces in the league right now. And then some aces like Giolito and Lance Lynn, guys that have kind of regressed a little bit. We're stuck. We got like Garrett Cole and McClanahan, and that's like it, right? We don't have a ton of deep aces. Even Gossman had that stretch where he was tipping. So I don't know why I confirmed the Astros. It is not confirmed. All right, so let me make sure that we have the right Garcia stats, because sometimes we do not. I'll tell you, if the Nats ever get smoked so bad that their Luis Garcia has to position pitch hit or pitch, it's going to destroy me. Let's see, 205 average allowed to righties. Is that the right? Yep, okay. So a 3.59 expected ERA on Garcia, 25% K rate. I mean, that right there is probably, those two numbers are going to make Garcia probably the highest owned player on the slate, if I had to guess. And then a lot of strikeouts in the bottom half of this Royals lineup. So I've got no pushback here. It has been really rough in these streets. I think we're getting the Garcia priced as the SP4 as probably the SP1. I'm thinking he's tier 1 in my book. You guys agree, disagree? He went 7 innings against KC last time out. Only 2 earnies, but only 9.6 fantasy points. What happened? 4 hits, 2 earnies, 1 homer. Just didn't get strikeouts, huh? And that's not normal. So let's look at that game and see if the swing and strike rate was bad. It was at 11%, so it's bad for his sake, but it's still double digits. So I guess he just wasn't converting. And he only had a 46% first pitch strike against the Royals that game, and that is his lowest in his past 7-8 games. So maybe just didn't have it, and his outside the zone swing and strike rate was about on par with the rest of his game. Matter of fact, it was above average. 50% swing rate. So all the other batted ball data is kind of on his side. The zone contact here, really high. He's got an 84% zone contact on the season. It was 96% that game against the Royals. That was a little outlier-ish, I guess you could say. The contact rate, again, 6% above his league average. And then the zone percentage is under 30%, which was 10% plus. So some wonky metrics here. So I'm willing to kind of bet on regression to the mean here. And I think Garcia has to be probably the top guy for me. With that said, we'll get to a little bit of hedge Royals, the Melendezes, the Pascantino. I do think the lineup is a little bit more talented right now. I don't know if they're 5 deep, but maybe. Astros are always a stack, always. Zach Greinke on the bump, soft tosser, little revenge narrative, sure. Just everyone's in play against Greinke. Yeah, cool. That's I'm not playing Greinke. Matter of fact, what is Greinke? Does Greinke even have a strikeout prop? It's like 1.5 by now, or what? 3 strikeouts for Greinke? Yeah, I don't know. Kikuchi's projected for 13 win points. Jeez. Scherzer's back today, but not on the slate. I saw DeGrom had a pitch against a single A team. That's just not fair. And Scherzer was down there as well. Bro, that man is 9,900. What? Bruh. I don't know. I'm indifferent on the drastic price differences, or I'll say inconsistencies in pricing, because baseball is one of those sports where we don't really need to think of salary in terms of a value anyway, and it's hard not to, especially at the pitcher position. But if you're going to change the game, I feel like the better players will thrive. Because normally 20 from a 10K player at the pitching spot is not something that you roll out of bed for, but in the context of a slate pre-flop like today, 20 might be a top 4 score, top 3 score. So it's not as drastic, and I think a lot of people will just be hesitant to do that. But raw points is raw points, and especially out of the pitcher spot. So and with pitching being so tough, like I said, it just means every offense has a chance, right? Let's get the Cubs and Brewers game punched in. Rafael Ortega. Suzuki is back for the Cubs. That's good. Sound like a fire truck. Anybody banging on my door, so we alright. Sounds like a fire truck out there. Kyle Hendricks taking on Jason Alexander. Is there an actor named Jason Alexander? Oof. Oof. That would hurt. Alright. We good? Yup. Alright. Chat, I have an irregular heartbeat. Sometimes it just stops. And I'm just like, uh-oh. Am I dead? Is this it? It just stopped for like a minute. It's the weirdest feeling in my chest. But it's just like... Yeah, 4.4 implied run total for the Cubs. Brewers, 4.8. So Kyle Hendricks is a troll. This would be a Kyle Hendricks slate, right? Where he just trolled his way into another 20-plus fantasy points. It's gotten you 18 or more in 3 of his last 4 games. Has 3 games against Milwaukee, though. Not trending as well against them this season. So like I said, this would be the Kyle Hendricks turnaround. But I don't know. Metrically, it's really not something I would get behind. But in 150, I put him in the back end, sure. Less than 10%, sure. Just no redeeming qualities to speak of. The main thing you would hope for when you play him is to see more righties, to get more ground balls, eat some innings here. Against lefties, just getting torched. 2.38 home run per night against lefties last year, 1.8. So aggregate of 2 in the last 2 seasons. Yelich, Rowdy Tellez, both guys that were profiled really, really well. Rowdy Tellez has a 4.1 rating in the bond detector. Pretty big number to get behind, really affordable on both sides, so I do like that. And then Alexander on the bump for the Brewers here. He's got a 1.7 whip, 6+ expected ERA. Let's see how long we can maybe project him to go. 32-18 last 2 outings, but was that just on the back of him getting shelled? Rotation this week. Okay. He seems really not good. Maybe like another Adrian Hauser type, where he pitches to contact, 10% K rate. Ground ball rate to righties high, lefties tearing him up. So kind of just like Kyle Hendricks here. And then Ortega, Ian Happ project pretty well against him. They both have 4+ ratings in the bond detector. So kind of the same approach here, where I'm going to be hesitant to list either pitcher. If I get to some Hendricks, I'm not going to lose sleep, but both offenses seem like they're more so in play here. But probably more Brewers than Cubs. God dang, there's a lot of... This slate sucks. Let's look at this Brewers bullpen. Oh, it would help. See how reset they are, because they could chop a game in half if they need to. Boxberger went yesterday. Hader went yesterday. So Hader may not be available today. He's pitched the last 2 games. And so did Devin Williams. And so did Boxberger. So I would say those are their 3 best pitchers. Would you guys agree? Boxberger, Hader, and Devin Williams. So this might be a sneaky spot to jump on the Cubs and not expect one of those elite guys to come in and chop this game in half, you know? So yeah, I guess we do stack some Cubs. All right, cool. Hendricks has had at least 6 Ks in 4 straight starts. Do you think he made any changes? We could look, right? What up, Skipper? Yeah, guys, I think this slate's gonna back a lot of people into a corner on pitching, and like weird names that have a high failure rate will get ownership. So if you want to get weird today, you know. Hendricks last couple days. So the question was, he had 4 games in a row of 6 strikeouts, right? Yeah. So did he make changes? Well, he has a 10.2% swing and strike rate on the season, and before the last 4 games, a lot of swing and strike rate was in the single digits, and then 3 of his last 4 games, and really just an aggregate the last 4 games, 11-12%. So that is an interesting development. Let's look at pitch type. Fastball, curveball, changeup. So that didn't really change. Pitch value. Batted ball data. The numbers are the same. The pitch mix is the same, essentially. Like, I don't see a drastic, egregious difference. Unless he did something small, like change an arm slot or something like that. I don't know. It could just be a coincidence. But if any of you Cubs fans have a lean or a tell or have heard about Hendricks changing something up, definitely drop it with me or tweet it at me. Because he did it against, like, Cincinnati's whatever. But St. Louis, Atlanta, and San Diego, especially St. Louis, that's pretty impressive. And against St. Louis, he had a sub 10% swinging strike rate. So maybe there was more called strikes than swinging strikes. So maybe he just had good umps, you know? St. Louis was resting guys? Oh, okay. Let's go look at that lineup then. Why is Michael Harris still batting ninth? I mean, the double lead off, little speed, right? You give your rookie call up a low pressure situation. I'm just trying to be Bader, Carlson, Donovan. So Goldie was in the lineup, but this is definitely not a high quality Cardinals lineup. No Arenado. It does have Arenado. Wait, what? I don't know. Carlson struck out twice. Donovan once. Yepez one. Did Archer get scratched? Yeah, Archer got scratched a while back. I think they said Winder was starting. If I'm not mistaken. Maybe somebody can corroborate that. But that was like the first alert I saw when I woke up. Bear in mind, I wake up a lot later than most of you guys, so I don't mean like I got it at 6 a.m. All right, let's get the next game typed in. It is the Twins game. And Twins. Oh. Dang, we almost clean swept that. Fastest typer in the West. All right. Oh, we missed Timmy. 4.6 run total for the Twins, 5.1 on the White Sox. Winder, so surprise start for Winder, right? Winder. What's in a Winder ball? That was dumb. 6 innings in 3 of his last 4 outings, 15 to 30 fantasy points in those. He's 6,700. Do we get ourselves a play? How? What? How is he? Wait a minute. What? 8Ks, 7Ks against Tampa and Oakland, and then 1-1. What? We got like a full-on Kyle Hendricks situation going on with him. Let me see. I just got to see it. I just got to know. What a drop-off. What? So Tampa and Oakland, 7 and 8 Ks. He had a 11% swinging strike rate, 15% swinging strike rate, and then plummeted. He didn't start that last Oakland game. He just made an appearance, so we can throw that out. I guess Houston and Cleveland makes sense. They're just scrappy, but whatever. Wait, Houston? I don't even see Houston on this game log. on 5/12. Guys, am I tripping? Fangraphs say he pitched against Houston on the 12th. But then 3.1 innings, 6 hits. But he's not in the DraftKings game log. That's weird. Not that it matters, but just kind of a weird thing, you know? Man. 80 pitches is probably the expectation for Winder. It is the White Sox. He does have a 4.15 expected ERA. A lot of his underlying metrics really not what you want. I don't know that we're taking a massive lateral to downgrade from Archer. Maybe Archer gives us a little bit more strikeout hope. But if we wanted to get to the White Sox, I guess that's still there for us. Starting to see that WRC plus slowly creep back up. And yeah, Winder and this bullpen, both guys that are beatable. And then the last couple games for the Twins have kind of been a little bit stressful down the stretch inning-wise. So I think at 6,700, if you want to get to Winder and hope for 10-plus fantasy points, that's fine. White Sox with Kopech. I think he's a polarizing subject today because of his ability to strike out enough, 23% on the season, but last year 36%. We're all just kind of hoping for positive regression. And then if this lineup comes out, ironically, more lefty than righty, the Twins lineup that is, Kopech has been still striking out lefties at a better clip than righty. So maybe that would be one of those weird reverse splits for strikeout hope that we can get to. We'll see if Buxton's in the lineup. I know that's a crazy statement, but it feels like he's not in the lineup at least twice a week lately. And then strikeout-wise, 22.7% overall K rate for the Twins. I wouldn't talk anyone off of Kopech here. I think I have to get to a little bit, but I'm not that enthusiastic about it. But that is literally the catchphrase of this slate, man. I'm not that enthusiastic about pitching this guy, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? 5-6 innings out of him, maybe scoop up a win, maybe a strikeout per inning, and I think we call it a dub. So, Scumdacker, game of the day. We're playing both sides, right? Yeah. See what you guys got. George Costanza. Okay, that was Jason Alexander. All right. Bro stroking the keys. What up, Bino? Weather could be a problem. Minnesota. Yeah, you're right. Good call. Looking back at Mr. Ross' weather report, this was his biggest game to watch. Said late start looks very likely. I think they end up with a late start in play, but it's not exactly dry behind the first batch of storms either. It's lighter rain for the rest of the night, so postponement is very much on the table. So good call out, good reminder. Let's go ahead and make that orange in the spreadsheet. And then so I'll refrain from putting these guys in my list right now, just because of the weather, but we'll watch that. All right, so this part of the slate, like this game's supposed to start at 8:10, right? Most of these games are going to kick off in that first 2-hour window, really that first hour window, right? And then we stagger into 3 games later on into the night. So there's like an hour and a half gap between this lock and the last 3 games. Just kind of a weird baseball quirk. I know we have it in every sport, but just thought we'd put that. So if you're a late swap guy for baseball, and not a lot of us are, you got an hour and a half to go knock out a TV show or something, or a workout, right, fellas? We work out, fellas. That's stupid. Giants catching a lefty, second day in a row, huh? Earman Mercedes, David VR, Brandon Crawford. Wait, David VR. Isn't that Jonathan VR? What is Fantasy Labs doing? Chat, I'm not stupid, right? It's Jonathan VR. Why did I say David? My man changing his name too? Neither lineup confirmed right now. I'm stupid. I don't know. Fudge. The implied run total for the Giants, 5.2. So, does open them up as one of the premier teams to target, I guess, with one of the highest run totals. Tyler Gilbert on the bump for the D-backs. Gilbert, didn't he have I think he was the kid that he had no-hitter in his first game or something like that. Kind of reminds me of the kid for the Angels, where he doesn't strike people out, but he lucked into a no-hitter. 15% K rate this year, just 16 innings of sample size. We go back into last year's metrics, it's more of the same, 17% overall K rate, and against lefties that dropped dramatically as well. I would assume that he has just like a low sample against lefties so far. That's kind of helping boost his numbers here, but the Giants do play heavy platoon, so I expect that again today, so we can really focus on this 5.53 xFIP, 326 average allowed, 5+ home run per 9. We regressed that a little bit to last year, 1.5 home run per 9. Austin Slater, Austin, Wilmer Flores, Darren Ruff, Longo Dongo, put them all in the blender to me. I'm stacking Giants. I'm not likely to pitch Tyler Gilbert. Alex Wood on the bump, 9,200. He has a 22.5% K rate, 1.36 whip, almost a 4 expected ERA. This D-backs lineup, though not projected, could be half and half, right? Luplow, Hummel, Kennedy, Jake Hager all have decent to high strikeout rates for opposing pitchers. And then let's get Perdomo's correct name in there, right? There we go. So I think just based on talent, right, I think we do get to some Alex Wood, but it's not a spot that we feel particularly warm and fuzzy about. 14, 11, 20, 20. That's really what we're hoping for at $9,200. Yup. So I'm going to put him in probably the tier 3 for now. But if he moved up to a 2 later on, I don't think it's crazy. We're going to have to play uncomfortable pitchers today. And then also let's add the Giants to the stack list. The Giants. Bro, I'm dang near going to stack everybody, man. Usually I can trim the fat. It's David. Oh, it is David. Okay. Did they sign Jonathan VR? My brain is going all kinds of ways right now. Jonathan VR. I feel like yesterday I had this Jonathan VR discussion. Good catch, chat. David VR. Jonathan VR. VR with the Angels. I am very confused. I know VR got DFA'd a couple weeks ago. The old man on FX. I'll give it a shot. Did they have VR listed yesterday? All right. I'm having a Mandela effect moment. All right, David VR in the minors, 284 average allowed, average a 1. OPS. Really good numbers. How does he do against lefties in the minors? 272 average, 949 OP. All right, so yeah, a lot of really good numbers from this kid. So he is not in the player pool, huh? Well, that sucks. Yeah, you're right. Good catch, Parth. In my brain, I feel like they had Jonathan yesterday, and I'm losing my mind. But I guess not. Either way, we can't play either one of them, so I guess it kind of is pointless. But keep an eye on David VR, because his minor league numbers look really, really good. And can you at least play him on the late slate? I don't know. We're stacking Giants, though. Really good numbers from VR, but right now he's not in the player pool. 2 games left. Blue Jays, Athletics. So I think there's going to be a WNBA stream after this, but I'm not sure. So if you're looking for more PrizePicks clicks, keep an eye out for that. Blue Jays in Oakland still. Alejandro. I need a different keyboard, man. This sucker keeps moving as I type. And maybe just a bigger one. You say Kikuchi. So, was it Steve said that looks like Kikuchi's got some ownership today? Guess it makes sense. But man, 12 game slate and Kikuchi's one of our better options. What a day. Alek Manoah got in some trouble yesterday. We kind of talked about, well, in the Discord, we talked about how Manoah's strikeout rate to lefties is so gosh dang low right now. But at the same time, it was the Athletics, so I was like, I couldn't get away from just setting and forgetting it. Kikuchi against righties, a 28% K rate, a 41% ground ball rate. Like, I get it. 7,800. We're looking for 14 fantasy points. I hate that we had to lean on him here, but Super Plus Park. Can you get 10 plus fantasy points out of him? Can you get 16? Can you get 20? All those things possible. He's been better in Toronto, but Oakland has just been a team I pick on all year. So we will get to some Kikuchi. But if Kikuchi's like the top owned guy, I'm not as enthralled with him as I am some others. I'm going to introduce him as a tier 3. Just based on his 1.5 whip, 6.32 expected ERA. But I totally understand it. When all else fails, pick on the Athletics. Adrian Martinez going for the Athletics here. He's got 10 innings of big league sample size so far. Has not been great. 5.6 plus xFIP to both sides of the plate. Let's pull up his minor league card. Yo, Adrian. There is more than one Adrian Martinez. And none of these are the right one. Maybe Adrian Martinez, Oakland, MILB. Was this guy even in AAA? Adrian Martinez. Maybe I did it with a S instead of. No. So he was in the PCL. "64 innings in the PCL. PCL's the more hitter-friendly minor league. 73 Ks in 64 innings, so more than a strikeout per inning. 13 homers in those 64 innings. More than 1 per 10, that's for sure. But like I said, that league does play more hitter-friendly, but that's still kind of high, you know? 1.4 whip. 1.8 homer per 9, so not inconsistent, I guess you would say, with his numbers so far. Can we split that? I don't know if we can, if Baseball Reference gives me minor league splits. All right, so he has held on to a power problem, especially to righties. That's a problem, and that's a power problem against a team that has a power problem. So you could say bars. Blue Jays stack in play. Blue Jays 5 implied run total, we're going to throw them in the list. So some Kikuchi, some Blue Jays. I'm never, ever, ever, ever am I going to 5-man stack the Athletics. But if we wanted to cherry pick Elvis Andrus, Ramon Laureano, Sean Murphy, like, I don't mind a couple of these guys falling individually, but I don't think I'm going to ever get to a full 5-man stack of the Athletics. So I won't. I will not. The Old Man Show is amazing good, man. You guys are all lot of people. All right, hold on. The Old Man Show FX. Is there like a synopsis based on the best-selling novel? Stars Jeff Bridges, John Lithgow. I don't want to accidentally play something here, but you guys have me. You have my curiosity. The old man centers on Dan Chase, who absconded from the CIA decades ago, has been living off the grid since. When an assassin arrives, tries to take Chase out, the old operative learns to ensure his future knows reconcile his past. Okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna write this down, chat. Actually, I'll just put it in. I'll put it in my research notes. Watch The Old Man. There we go. And while I'm here, let's copy and paste a couple links. If you guys want to support the stream, support the sponsors that sponsor me by playing on their sites, PrizePick, Underdog, both those guys, both those sites have we have a partnership. So if you guys want to play on their sites, you can get double your first deposit up to $100. And then with Underdog, it's way more than prop betting. They have the best ball for NFL, which is just nuts. Millions, literally millions of dollars up for grabs in those contests. So be sure you're checking that out. If you're not on either site yet, definitely sign up using my code. They show me some love. If you do sign up using really either code, DM me in the Discord, the free Discord, and we'll create a we'll add a role. I do have the Underdog role already set up. The PrizePicks role might have to, I don't know, retroactively get that going, because a lot of you guys signed up before we even did that. But speaking of the free Discord, there's a link in the description below. Get you guys in this one. There's like 700 plus of you guys hanging out, chopping it up 24/7. It is prop centric. So if you guys do want to dip your toes into the prop betting world, WNBA, baseball, they got Summer League opened up. I saw Josh wrote a freaking article for Summer League the other day. Was nuts with it. So lots of fun stuff to go out there and attack. And then esports has opened up even longer. Gun, I love this beat. What's it called? Man, Justin, I don't know when you said that, but this song is called Baller. The last song was called Iced Out. I would imagine it's one of those two songs. Too much pinch hitting for giant stacks, says Wiggy. They do platoon quite a bit, which is annoying. But if Darren Ruff hits a homer in the first inning, then he makes sense, right? So I would say that the pinch hit risk would scare me off of like 20 or less, or single entry or something like that. But in MME, I would just let it rip and not think too much about it, Oakland, you get a foul in another area code and get caught. Yeah, it does hurt the strikeouts for sure. Rangers giant stack with Judge, Alvarez, too chalky. I don't have a pulse on ownership, but I don't know. I don't know what chalk is on this thing. It seems like every team has a shot. There might be like two teams that get like concentrated ownership, but with every pitcher sucking, every team's in play, What up, Casey? Jeff Bridges just won. Jeff Bridges. My brain's trying to figure out. Jeff Bridges isn't the kid from Good Times, right? Guys, did I just say the dumbest thing ever? That's not Jeff Bridges. But that guy's name is Bridges, right? I don't watch shows, guys. I watch A lot of toilet humor, a lot of sports, a lot of wrestling. More so old time. All right, let's get Rocky's lineup. Oh my goodness. I'm so corny sometimes, but that wasn't even a joke. I know some of you guys must have just cringed so hard. Like, good times, what's he talking about? And the only reason I know that is because there was some reality show way back in the day when I was a kid with like Vanilla Ice and him. Mookie Betts. So we had Mitch White scratched, and now we are going to run Pepio. I don't know if I'm saying that right. That's Todd Bridges. I knew it was a bridge. Herman Marquez on the bump for the Rockies on the road this year. A 4.53 xFIP, a 16% K rate. Keeping the ball in the park with a 53% ground ball rate. You want to see that K rate be higher to take a shot on them, especially against a juggernaut like the Dodgers. So it's hard to co-sign that, but I understand why. You know, people just trying to get different today. The Dodgers are also really good spot for them in terms of run total. They have a 5.6 implied run total. So essentially the Rockies bring in cores with them because 5.6, I do believe, leads the slate, right? It's right above the Astros at 5.4. Phillies are also at 5.4. So a lot of runs implied there. So Dodger stack in play here. The pitcher for the Dodgers is really doggone expensive. And struggles to go deep, and it looks like has a walk problem. So I'm probably not going to get there on either pitcher, but we are stacking Dodgers. Good God, dude. I have so many teams. That's going to be annoying. Okay. All right. The Big Lebowski. I've never seen The Big Lebowski, but I know who he is. Chad, I'm the most cultured, uncultured guy you might ever know. Right? I could quote movie references from like Tommy Boy and Dumb and Dumber and Step Brothers and all the Family Guy. But that's like, I live there, right? I've never seen Star Wars. I've never seen Harry Potter. The one with the rings. So I don't really know. I don't know. Maybe I'm about to get to that age where I start binging all that. But anyway, let's sort the bomb detector. We do have a couple more lineups out to kind of upgrade. But this is a very snowflake unique slate where it's not fun. What up, David? It says, what do you think of Arizona? I like them. I don't know, am I effing stupid today? No. I think today it'll pay to get different. Let's see. Longoria, Darren Ruff at the top of the bomb detector. Pasquantino, it is inflated here, just 14 at bats, but in the minors he was a monster. Schwarber's up here as well. Schwarber probably has the biggest bomb rating in terms of sample size for both pitcher and hitter. Judgy's up there. Moncastle's up there. That's impressive. Mercedes is up there. Vladdy's up there. So look at our bomb detector. Wrestling is god culture, but I may be biased. Let's go. Lots of potential high-scoring teams. Absolutely, Doug. Big Lebowski, definitely not Harry Potter. How old is that movie? The Big Lebowski. What year did it come out? In 98? Yeah, I guess I should have seen it. 98 though. I was 10 years old. So I don't know. I was definitely watching wrestling at 10 years old. All right, let's go look at PrizePicks real quick. PrizePicks really rough today because we don't like pitchers. So Thor is pitching, and this is not on the main slate, but anytime Thor is pitching, you know what that means. Man, why isn't John Bertie leading off? No Bertie or Josh Chisholm. I was going to say we just start targeting guys' fantasy points for selling base potential. And then Max is pitching against the Reds. Did they put up a max? They have a 7. That's high. 7 strikeout prop at 37.5 fantasy. And we see other guys that similar props be like at 40, but he's only at 88.5 pitches. So, I think it's just going to be an offense night. I think Schwarber fantasy points. Let's just grab 4, right? Schwarber, we'll go bomb detector on this one, right? If we look at the bomb detector, Schwarber's at the top with sample size, 4.27. He's leading off. So can we get Schwarber fantasy at 8.5? Yes, or total basis. He's also in the home run triangle. Alec Boehm's in it. I don't love that, but let's go. Kyle Schwarber over 8.5 FPS or 1.5 TB. What else you guys thinking? Hitter fantasy. We might just let the bomb detector do all the work. I don't know who was more overrated, Trout, Yankees, or Dodgers. Yo, wait a minute. Aaron Campbell, he's back, y'all. We've been waiting for this moment ever since that little Mike Trout debate you brought up a couple weeks ago. Trout has left the planet Earth. Oh man. Schwarber or Suzuki gun? I'm going Schwarber. Suzuki. I don't mind Suzuki like theoretically, but I will say, based on that starting pitcher matchup, I think the opposing starting pitcher quieted righties. Quiet Riot. Alexander hasn't allowed a homer to a righty yet with a 63% ground ball rate. So it's a better matchup pre-flop for Schwarber, if that makes sense, you know? Aaron, he's back. What else? Profile as well. Let's just look at. If Judgy does bat second against Quintana, sure, I don't mind that. Yo, Aaron disappeared, man. Aaron's just been waiting for for Trout to go 0 for 4 some night with like 3 strikeouts. I told y'all. Goldie 8.5. Man, this is tough. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab 4 or 5 that I'm gonna spin the wheel, make a deal on, and I'll throw them in the free Discord here in a little bit. Let's get caught up on any of these lineups that are confirmed, and then if you're out there lurking, you haven't subbed yet, hit that sub button. And let's see what lineups came out that we can get punched in. And then yeah, if you guys got any last questions, comments, concerns, throw them at me in chat. We'll get it typed up. Phillies lineup we already had confirmed. Let's see. Yankees lineup is confirmed. All right, cool. All right, so Judgy in the 2 spot. I like that. We might lean on that for fantasy. LeMahieu, Judgy. Judgy's had 2 days off, by the way. Rizzo, Stanton, Glaber is batting 5th. Donaldson, Aaron Hicks, Jose Trevino, IKF, lit. But keep an eye on the weather in that game. Brian Hayes, Reynolds, Jack Sawinski, Daniel Vogelbach, Yoshi Sasugo, O'Neal Cruz, Ben Gamble, Michael Perez, Josh Van Meter. A lot of lefties, which is not necessarily, I mean, it's not a good thing, but it's not a bad thing. Tayon's strikeout rate actually goes up against lefties, like minusculely, but still up, 4%. The xFIP is about the same. You hate to see the ground ball rate kind of decline there a little bit, but the hard contact rate's pretty low as well. So A lot of lefties for the Pirates, but I don't think that's as menacing as it should be, or it normally is, right? Rays lineup came out. Yandy Diaz, Harold Ramirez is batting second. Wander Franco. Isak Paredes batting cleanup. Kevin Kiermaier, Randy Arozarena, Taylor Walls, Renee Pinto, Josh Lowe. Guardians lineup came out. Stephen Hiptequan, Rosario, J-Ram, Naylor, Franmil, Jimenez, Owen Miller, Luke Malley, and Miles Straw. Not much has changed there. Just a couple of guys getting swapped. Cardinals lineup came out. Now this is important for me. Juan Yepez batting second. I was not expecting that. I like that. That might actually be a nice boost for yes run first inning. A little bit of extra pop. In the bottom of this order has some stolen base potential. Also, Austin Romine, former Yankee great, catching Mr. Palante. Nats lineup just dropped. Acuna, Swanson, Olsen, Riley, Ozuna batting fifth. I like this game. Dude, Eddie Rosario, Willie Contreras, both these lineups are like deep today. I say that as Phil Gosselin enters the chat. What else we got? Astros lineup hit. Altuve, Pena, Jordan, Bregman, Kyle Tucker, Yuli, Aledmus Diaz, Jake Myers, Martin Maldonado. Boom. Brewers lineup hit. Yelich, Adames, Rowdy, Andrew McCutcheon, Colton Wong, Luis Arias, Jace Peterson, Victor Caratini, Jonathan Davis. White Sox lineup hit. Timmy, Vaughn, Robert, Abreu, Sheets, Makata, Pollock, Josh Harrison, Reese McGuire. So all that's about normal. All right, cool. We are caught up. See what you guys got, and then we'll get you out of here. Every year, y'all hype up Dodgers and Yankees while Braves farm system continues to dominate the homegrown way. I mean, dominate's a rough word. I think the Braves got hot at the right time, but I don't know. I think the Dodgers have dominated the last half a decade. Not necessarily homegrown, but they just have to win. Gun, do not validate Mike Trout. That guy. What? Why are we hating on Trout? What up, Jay? Dodgers went to 3 World Series, 1-1. The Yankees have one of the best bullpens. And the Yankees were also one game away from the World Series, but there was some trash can banging going on. What a weird debate. Braves bullpen better than the Yankees. Pull the numbers. Maybe, but no. I mean, like, the Braves bullpen, I do think is severely underrated, but the Yankees bullpen has been injured. They are just now getting Chapman back, but I don't even care about Chapman. We're about to get Jonathan Loaisiga, Zach Britton, guys like that. Chad Green's done for the year, but it's a whole lot better. But the fact that they're turning like Clay Holmes and Marinaccio into like premier arms is nuts. Red Sox fan, what up, David? It's all right. Another PrizePicks taco that's going bad quickly. All right, let's. Oh, for the what was it? 3.5 strikeouts for Logan Gilbert. Oof. Do we have another taco coming from PrizePicks tonight? Rays versus Houston again. Book it. Where was that great Yankees offense a week ago when Houston came to the Big Apple? They split the series. What do you mean? Houston's good, but it's not like Houston dropped. Like, that last game that they lost in Houston was 2-1. Houston's a problem. The rest of the league in the American League, not a problem. It is actually insane how far the gap is between the Yankees and the Astros and the rest of the AL. The AL East has 4 playoff teams in the division, and the Yankees have like a 13-game lead on that division. So the WNBA taco is going to be, looks like Ezzy Ezzy. We'll just call it Ezzy so I don't get exposed. Can I get one complete lineup? Says Willie Wilson. I can't do that for DraftKings. Overrated is a term thrown about too loosely. Yeah, it is. So is underrated, I guess. But if you think about ratings, no one had the Yankees winning the division this year. Everyone thought that the Blue Jays were going to run away with it. So the Yankees are underrated? Huh? And now they're the number 1 team in baseball? I don't know. Teams trade prospects. Never seen a division so strong, and the Yankees are ridiculous. Yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid. But, watching the Yankee games, only the Astros game are, games I felt like, oh, these two teams belong on the same field. There's a lot of games where, tonight might be another example, man. It's wild. For Fanduel, a full lineup for Fanduel, man, Willie, I don't want to hold your hand on that. I would probably, I don't know, I'd probably just go grab a Garcia as the SP1 and sprinkle in a couple 2-man stacks. So, give me, I don't know, Schwarber and another lefty. I don't know. I'm not really in the, business of making lineups. I'm more so just research and strategy, you know. Gun for value, Arizona Luplow. If Luplow leads off against a lefty, sure, he's very, very cheap. Just double check that he does lead off, because that can fluctuate, but he sustains a really high ISO against lefties, so he could surprise Wood. But I would absolutely want him leading off before I took that plunge, you know. But I don't know, it didn't feel like today was a slate where we needed a ton of value. But maybe I'm wrong. Chat, if you guys want this spreadsheet, it's behind the paywall at rundfs.com. VIP memberships. There is a year-end pass that's up right now. I think it's 300. I'll just look, $300 with a $100 rebate or $100 credit to Fantasy Cruncher. So you kind of rebate that down to $200. That'll get the rest of baseball, most of NFL up until January 1, and then a good chunk of the beginning of the NBA season. So I think that's a pretty banger deal. And then, of course, it unlocks the rundfs.com VIP Discord, and every day for a couple hours before lock, I'm vibing in the voice chat. You guys can make some lineups, chop it up with me and the boys. It's a small circle for baseball. So if you have been in the VIP for NBA and there's 20, 30 people in voice, it's not like that for baseball. So if you are looking to expand a little bit, definitely come join us and have some fun. Also in the Discord, we get up to the minute notifications, lineup adjustments, stuff like that. So I think it's a pretty cool piece of artillery to have. Why do the Yankees hate Andahar so much? Yeah, Gallo sucks. I don't think Gallo's definitely not going to be there in a couple weeks. Andahar, I think the Yankees are gonna make a big move. Not a big move like a big name, but I've heard Brian Reynolds, Ian Happ, and Andrew Benintendi as 3 names involved. I think the idea is they want somebody that can bat lefty or switchy. Ian Happ would be a dream to me. And then Isaiah Connor for left are starting to get a little bit of heat. So you might see them make a move there. Maybe Oswaldo Perez or Volpe, but probably Perez. But yeah, Gallo's got to go. And Gallo's arc right now is very consistent with the arc that Chris Carter had. Chris Carter played for the Brewers. He led the National League in homers. The Yankees signed him to be an 8-hole hitter, and they end up just DFAing him midway through the season. So I think Gallo's name value is still high enough where you get more than a DFA out of him, but I don't think the asking price on him is going to be too high. So we'll see what they do. Torres and Stanton tonight. Pittsburgh pitcher gives up some homers. Torres, Stanton, Judgy, Donaldson, they all make a lot of sense. Chat, I got to get out of the way because I'm going to try to open up the airwaves here in 10 minutes or so for hopefully some WNBA content, but I'll try and come back tomorrow. I need to look at tomorrow's schedule. Baseball schedule has been very wonky this week. Tomorrow. Yeah. All right, tomorrow's doable. Looks like we got a 8-game slate. So we'll be back tomorrow. Shoot for 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, and then we'll have some fun. I appreciate you guys making part of my day, be part of your day. I'll be in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. Getting a free Discord. I'll put a couple of my favorite PrizePicks plays in there as well. Twitter.com/Gundacker. Tell somebody you love them. I love you. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.